One of the problems we have today is our love of either an individual or a party. I personally am a libertarian, and Ron Paul, who is a representative of the Libertarian Party, but truly just a conservative Republican, is a disgusting human being in him holding up the anti-lynching laws today of all days. And so one thing I damn sure learned is that you don't never put your faith in your party or even an individual. You back their policies. Right? At one time or another, the Republicans were liberals and the Democrats were conservative. And so all of this party, individual, all that's BS. It's a distraction so that we don't all get behind policies that'll benefit us. We get on a certain team and we just root for that team, and whatever that team does, nobody cares because we won. But that's not what our founders meant to have happen. They wanted an informed society, a society who discussed policies, discussed what was best for them in the moment, not which party was best for them at all time or what political ideology was best for them in all time. Nobody relies on their left leg all the time to walk forward. Nobody relies on their right leg all the time to walk forward. What people do is they determine which is the best leg to put forward at the time. And so here, despite the fact that I may think Biden is a buffoon, his policies are one that I can actually get behind and follow.
The moment has come for our nation to deal with systemic racism, to deal with the growing economic inequity that exists in our nation, to deal with the denial of the promise of this nation made to so many. You know, I've said from the outset of this election that we're in the battle for the soul of this nation. And we are in the battle for the soul of this nation. What we believe, and maybe most importantly, who we want to be, it's all at stake. That's truer today than it has ever been, at least in my lifetime. And it's this urgency, it's in this urgency we can find a path forward. Now, the history of this nation teaches us that in some of our darkest moments of despair, we've made some of our greatest progress, some of our darkest moments. The 13th, 14th, 15th Amendments followed the Civil War. The greatest economic growth in world history grew out of the Great Depression. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 65 came in the tracks of Bull Connor's vicious dogs. To paraphrase Reverend Barber, it's the morning where we find hope. It's in the morning where we find hope when we mourn. But it's going to take more than talk. We've had talk before. We've had protests before. But we've got to now vow to make this at least an era of action and reverse the systemic racism with a long overdue concrete changes. The action will not be completed in the first 100 days of my presidency if I'm fortunate enough to be elected, or even in my entire term. It's going to take the work of a generation. But if this agenda will take time to complete, it should not wait for the first 100 days of my presidency to get started. A down payment on what is long overdue should come now, should come immediately. I call on the Congress to act this month on measures that will be the first step in this direction. Starting with real police reform, Congressman Jeffries has a bill to outlaw chokeholds. Congress should put it on the president's desk in the next few days. There are other measures to stop transferring weapons of war to police forces, improve oversight and accountability, to create a model use of force standard. That also should be made law this month. No more excuses, no delays. If Mitch McConnell can bring in the United States Senate to confirm Trump's unqualified judicial nominees who will run roughshod over our Constitution now, It's time to pass legislation that will give true meaning to our constitutional promise of equal protection under the law.
Equal protection under the law. I mean, that's damn sure a policy that I can get behind. Don't waste your energy arguing with Trump supporters about the craziness of Trump or even the craziness of their ill-informed decisions. What we need to do is begin to talk to friends and family about what's best for all of us. Don't waste it on people who only care what's best for them.